Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie and today we're going to talk about some new makeup releases and I'm going to give my thoughts on them. I was sick for the past 2 weeks, so I haven't been able to have a new episode like this on my channel, but now that I'm better, I plan on making this a weekly series. This video was inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series, so I'll have her channel and that playlist linked down below. And she also created a community playlist where other creators can make this type of style of video. So if you like watching those videos, I'll have that playlist linked down below so you can watch more of them. So the first release that I want to talk about is from Natasha Denona. Natasha Denona is releasing this new Blush and Glow palette, and it's smaller than her original one, so it has 2 blush shades and 2 highlighters. The thing that kind of confuses me about this product is in the photo, it's shown in 2 different lightings. So the top one looks really pretty with like nice peachy blushes and highlights, and the bottom one looks really dark, and I thought one of the highlights was almost green. I feel like I'd have to see this product in Sephora to decide if the highlights would be able to work on my skin tone because I am more fair. A lot of things just leave that cast on my cheeks instead of blending in well. But I really want to try something from Natasha Denona. She's a more expensive brand, but I've heard that her quality is worth the price. And I really do like face palettes. So I think if this one suited my skin tone, I'd add it to my wish list for the Sephora VIB sale in the spring. The next release that I want to talk about is from Wet n Wild, and they're coming out with this Rebel Rose, which is kind of like a gothic grungy collection. I feel like Wet n Wild has come out with so many collections in the past month that it's almost hard to keep up with them, but this one is something that I definitely am going to pass on. The rose brushes are interesting, but I don't know how they would work, and I feel like they'd be kind of a hassle to store. I was really excited when I saw this collection came with a cream blush, but it's like a really off color, and it would definitely not work on my skin tone. I am hoping that this means that Wet n Wild will come out with more cream blushes in the future because I would definitely try it from Wet n Wild because they're such an affordable brand, but this color is going nowhere near my cheeks. The eyeshadow quads are cute, but I feel like I have all those colors in a palette or some other, and I want to make sure that I'm adding stuff to my collection that's unique and different and really adding value and not just buying it because it's Wet n Wild and super affordable. So I think that I'm going to pass over this collection. The only thing out of the collection that really intrigues me is the skincare. They have an oil, a toner, and a primer serum. Out of all of those, I think I would try the primer serum, but I want to watch reviews first and see what people think because skincare can be really hit or miss. And I'd like to see if other people have good experience, but then I'd totally pick it up because like I stated, Wet n Wild is such an affordable brand that I'd love to try their products because they're so accessible too. Anastasia Beverly Hills has leaked their spring collection. So it comes with 2 eyeshadow quads. There's a warmer tone, which is the sunrise one, and the cooler tone, which is the sunset. The warmer one comes with 2 metallic lipsticks, and the cooler one comes with 2 lip glosses. And the PR package comes up with like a light up palm tree and 2 pairs of sunglasses, which the sunglasses are so cute. I do like Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palette formula. Her eyeshadow palettes are some of my favorite, and I only have 1 single shadow, so I can't speak for the quality across the board. As far as the warm tone palette, I don't think this is something I would pick up because I literally have all of these colors, but the cool tone one definitely got my attention. Because these are also being sold as singles, I think I would pick up that metallic blue shade because I feel like I have the other transition brown shades in my collection. I love the fact that she is coming out with single eyeshadows because I'm not forced to buy a whole quad for 1 shade, but I can just spend the money to buy a single. So I really like that about Anastasia. I also really do like Anastasia lip glosses, but these are kind of interesting shades, so I'm not really sure how they'd work on me. But if they're in stock when I go to Ulta or Sephora, I would love to swatch them and see how they are. I'm hoping Anastasia releases more for her spring collection. I heard that Norvina is going to release another glow kit. And I do love Anastasia's glow kit, so I have that on my radar and I'd love to see what colors they come out for this season. Fenty Beauty has also sneak peeked some new releases. They're releasing 2 new Kilowatt foil highlighters. There's one that's in like a minty baby blue and one that's in like a really pretty pink. I like the pink one, but I think it's too pink, but I think it could work on different skin tones, and I also feel like it'd be the perfect glowy blush if you're really into that sort of look. She also released 3 new shades of her Stunna lip paints. There's a coral, a hot fuchsia pink, and this really pretty deep purple. I haven't tried the Stunna lip paints yet, but I've heard nothing but good reviews about them. Unfortunately, if I was going to try the Stunna lip paints for the first time, these wouldn't be the colors that I'd pick up. I'm leaning towards getting Unbuttoned, which was the peachy nude, or Uncuffed, which is that really pretty mauve, but there's definitely a liquid lipstick formula that I want to try, and overall I want to try more from Fenty Beauty. So I'm always really excited when Rihanna posts new releases because I love them as a brand, I love their approach to diversity, and I love how all their products work for everyone across the board. So Fenty Beauty is a brand that I am always checking for, and I can't wait to see what else she releases. A much overdue release, Benefit is expanding the shades of their Hoola bronzer. I feel like this is a total late release, but I guess better late than never. They had the original Hula shade, which is always a little bit too dark and too orange for my skin tone, but then they released Hula Light. I feel like at the same time they released Hula Light, they should have released the two deeper shades, which are Caramel and Topaz. I do applaud Benefit for finally expanding the shade range, but couldn't they have done this sooner? I think it is exciting though for people with a deeper skin tone being able to try the Benefit bronzers. I know they're coming out with those new face palettes and they're including the deeper shades. So if you always wanted the face palette but the bronzer wouldn't work for you, maybe you'd be able to pick up one this time. They run for about $60 and I haven't really tried much from Benefit. They're not really a brand that grabs my attention. But if you like their products, this could be a great value if you don't have a lot of the full sizes already, because the set does contain only full-size products. So I'm kind of late to the party on this, but Kathleen has once again collaborated with ColourPop. She's expanding her Zodiac line to include 12 loose pigments that are all based on the Zodiac signs. I think this is a cool release, and I know ColourPop did have loose pigments, but I heard the reviews weren't stellar, so I feel like Kathleen Lights is a great person to put these pigments back on the market because she does have such a wide following, and her collab with ColourPop is the most obvious choice. I haven't picked up any of these pigments yet. I have stated before that I want to try to get more into loose pigments because I feel like they're a really cool way to amp up an eye look, and they're really versatile because you use them with a glitter glue, use them wet, use them dry, and it's just one easy shade that can totally transform your makeup. I'm definitely planning on placing a ColourPop order soon. The thing about ColourPop is they release so many new releases that I like to wait up for a little while so I can buy several things at once and definitely hit that $30 free shipping minimum. The next time that I do place an order from ColourPop, I'll probably pick up one or two of these pigments because I am interested in trying them and I do love Kathleen Lights. The one that's attracting me the most is the Bull, and not just because I'm a Taurus, but I love green eyeshadow, and that sparkly green all over the lids just screams St. Patrick's Day and is all over beautiful. Hoonah Beauty has expanded the shade range for her melted shadows. I'm definitely interested in these, but I kind of wish they didn't have the matte side and were just metallic. When I use liquid shadows, I always put a matte shadow down in my crease and on my eye first, and then I add the shimmer liquid on top. So to me, I probably get use out of the matte side, but I could definitely do it without it. I love the expanded shade ranges. The blue and the green one caught my attention, and I'd love to hear more reviews about the formula. If there's something that's widely well received, I feel like I'd definitely pick one of these up because liquid shadows are so easy to put on the go. Especially with the matte side, you could just pop that in your crease and then pop the shimmer on, but I don't think the matte side is necessarily necessary, but I definitely want to try this. I haven't tried anything from Hoonah's brand, and she's been on my radar. Those gemstone palettes she released definitely caught my attention, and the overall Obsessions palettes makes me want to try something from Hoonah. So I'd love to pick up an Obsession palette and one of these liquid shadows. Releases to talk about, and the next one is from Violet Voss. Violet Voss has released a mini of her Holy Grail eyeshadow palette, which is the really warm toned classic one. I'm pretty sure this is in an Ipsy bag plus or a BoxyCharm, so maybe after she released it in the subscription box, Violet Voss is releasing it to the general public. I think this is a great idea. I mentioned in prior videos, I really love mini eyeshadow palettes. They're so condensed and easy to travel, and you can make a cohesive eye look with a more curated color scheme. The Holy Grail palette is a staple in a lot of people's makeup collection, but I personally haven't tried anything from Violet Voss. I wouldn't pick up this palette because I have all of these colors. It reminds me a lot of the Modern Renaissance, which is one of my favorite palettes, and since I already have that, I feel like I don't need the Holy Grail. Violet Voss is one of those brands that I really want to try because I've heard so many good reviews about her eyeshadow palette formula, but a lot of her palettes have a lackluster color scheme. At least I think so. Speaking of color schemes that don't really appeal to me, Makeup Geek is releasing 2 new palettes. I feel like Marlena has said that Makeup Geek as a whole is rebranding, and I'm super excited for that because I got the opportunity to try some of their eyeshadows this year, and I really did love the formula, and I can understand why they're so widely raved about. So the 2 eyeshadows she released, the first one is the Peach Bellini palette, and I feel like this has been done before. It's a warm tone palette with some peach and brown shades, and if you don't have that in the collection by now, that's all that was released in 2018. I would love to try this because once again, I do like Makeup Geek's eyeshadow palette or eyeshadow formula, but I don't need repeats in my collection, and this is a repeat for a lot of other shadows I have. Their second palette, which was the Champagne and Rose eyeshadow palette, was more appealing because it had some of those really pretty mossy greens in it. And like I said, I love green eyeshadow. But once again, I have these colors. I'm interested to see where Makeup Geek is going to go in 2019 because I'd love to be able to support their brand and buy some more stuff because I think their formula really is spectacular, especially for the price point. So the last release that I want to talk about is from Physicians Formula. I've recently been trying more Physicians Formula. I have the Butter Bronzer on today, and I recently bought the Healthy Elixir Foundation, which, to be honest, I'm not really sure what I think about it, but I've been trying it on my skin. Let me know what you think down below. But Physicians Formula is releasing some more skincare. They're releasing a Rose Restorative Night Cream, which is only $9.95, which I think is a great price, especially considering that Physicians Formula is one of the more expensive drugstore brands. I love to try this because I mentioned several times my skin is super dry, so any sort of hydrating overnight cream is definitely appealing to me. And at $10, that's such a great price point. It is rose scented, so if you have sensitive skin, that might not work for you. But once again, I don't really have sensitive skin, so I can't speak for the fact that it might break you out. They're also releasing a rose illuminating setting spray, which I think is a great idea. I love setting sprays, and being able to find an affordable option from the drugstore would definitely replace the high-end ones that I have now. I'm gonna wait till my setting spray collection gets a little bit smaller before I pick this up, but if they ever have buy one, get one free at Ulta for Physicians Formula, these would be two great products to put in my cart. So those are some new releases for this week that I just wanted to touch on and tell you how I'm feeling, give some thoughts and opinions on them. What releases are you excited for this week, and what ones are you totally avoiding? I'd love if you let me know down below. If you like this video, I hope you'd consider subscribing for new videos weekly, and I hope to see you then. Thanks for watching.